Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
What, Rajesh?
Yes, sir.
So you are at home only, native place only.
So actually, my native is different from the place where I stay.
Okay.
So now I'm at my home.
Okay. When you are coming to Bangalore?
So probably next month, sir.
Okay. The labs and all, they have to start. No, they will start, I hope. So offline they will do sometimes and they will conduct the examination. This time examination offline. There is no confusion in that. All should come to college and have to write the examination. What about others? Had lunch? What, Pradeep? Huh?
Sir,
What you are doing?
nothing, sir.
Huh?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. Had lunch?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So had
Yes.
lunch, sir. I'm getting sleep. Huh?
nothing,
Huh?
nothing, no, sir. I'm hearing your,
Hmm?
I'm hearing your class.
ಎಲ್ಲ stories ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So after some time, if I call one person, many people will not respond on me.
ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಏನ್ ಕತೆ ಅಂತ.
ಹ್ಮ್. ಇನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀಯಪ್ಪ. But Apurva?
Yes, sir.
Had lunch?
Not yet, sir.
Why?
Sir, I'll have around 2:30.
So now once connected, then you can start lunch. Eh?
No, sir.
You can do it in your theory. Nah? What the subject also like that only. You should get. I should get programming. I feel that's what theory means like this only. That also this user interface on the. So we have to simply drag and go enter semester. That's all. Huh? Correct, na?
Yes, sir.
Easy subject, but I don't know what you people will do it in the examination. Easy. You'll think like that. You will not study. At least main headings you should by heart it. Otherwise you will not do it. So you'll think that easy. Finally, what happened? I don't know. So you have to write you have to fill the pages and you have to write with main headings. Main headings is important. Right. What about others? Still, they're eating lunch, I hope. So let them join. No problem. So assignments you have received, no? Apurva?
Yes, sir.
Both the
Yes,
assignments
sir.
you got it, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, everybody has to maintain the deadlines. You know that deadlines, if you are not following them, telling us to do it withheld, there is a problem. So everybody has to follow the timings. So GCR will be accessed by all other people also. So even we cannot give any fact informations or wrong informations. You should maintain the timings, either test or assignment, whatever it may be, deadlines, everything. So if you want full marks, you should maintain the timings, deadlines and all. So have given, so take book, write it properly and write it, scan it properly. That is most important. So some people with you keep your papers where the ventilation is available. So that is important. Without ventilation, if you scan it and send it also, it will not be visible properly. That is also drawback. So that you have to maintain. Okay. So today I'll send it one Google Sheet also. Today's class where in that PPT where it comes, you can enter it that one. So list out. I cannot give objective type here A, B, C, D, multiple choice something. So here is just one question I've asked, just headings only. So whatever it comes, you write it there. That's it. So modes of representation, timings, impacts. So we were discussing last class, and some of the points we didn't discuss it last class. It was because of the time lag. So source of the errors, and another one is called the conditions for optimum problem solving. So here is just you can think about the customer care only. So customer care is nothing but how it will be helping for the users. For example, if you take mobile or SIM, whatever it may be, or you can take a washing machine or any TV, whatever it may be, the devices. So some of the case, sometimes if it is not working, you can call customer care. So you can tell it this is what the happening. So you user also should have the minimum knowledge, then only they can be able to solve it. If they don't have the minimum knowledge, through customer care, solving the problem is bit difficult. That is what this one, where we'll get the errors, how they will be supporting, and how to resolve the problems. So that is what the source of the errors, where we'll be getting the errors is nothing but the customer end only. The solution to the problems must be recorded to the memory or implemented. So whatever the discussions happening from the source and destination, source to destination, so that should be recorded for the improvement purpose. Because you know that if they are not recording what will happening, customer service people, they will say something and they will leave it. So they want to escape from the work. For a few people, I'm telling, not for all the people. So in that case, what will happen? That is the reason what they will do it. Every work they are recording. So customer questions, answers, how you are asking, how they are telling answers, all these things will be recorded. That is what the solution to the problems must be recorded to the memory implemented. So that one is chance of errors increases when the solutions are recorded. So solutions are recorded means chances of errors will be recorded. So some of the cases, similar type questions will not be the same answers. So recording answers, if you get it, so questions will be more. So based on the situations, customer care people will be, they will be having the options 2 to 3 solutions. They will tell it, only one solution will be working out. So that is what the first one. Second one is when using an interactive computer systems, users may be formulate plans. Users also, they should have the formulate plans and have to wait for the execution time of a step by step. So whatever the customer case they're telling, so do this, do this, do this. So they have to parallelly, they have to follow that, they are able to execute the programs that is what the second one. So another one is called the long 1976 found the unskilled and skilled typist worked more slowly and made more errors with longer response times. So what will happen, typist? So without experience, without knowing that, chances are there to get the errors. So previously that one. So they were, when how they are doing the recording also nothing but whatever we are telling, they used to type it. So where they don't have the experience, then they will do the mistakes and all. So that means long time. Now nobody is following this one. So now what's happening now? So everything is recording. Through everything is nothing but the online mode. So that is what the nowadays it is happening. No, nobody is doing the 1976 models and all. So unskilled and skilled typist workers, whatever they are telling the through customers case is going all these things. Maybe that time it was totally different. So even phone facilities were not available. So through messages means through letters, something like that only. So for a given users and task, there is a preferred response time. So second one is nothing but the conditions for the optimum problem solving. So optimization is very important. So problem solving is optimization, problem solving is important. So here is longer response time causes uneasiness. So longer time is nothing but uneasiness, whoever it may be. Suppose if our system, computer only, let me take our mobile, if you take, some of the settings might have got changed. So we'll call the customer care and we'll tell it, So sometimes they will tell it. So if they are able to tell the problems, if you are able to solve the problems immediately, then we can enjoy with the other facilities. Otherwise, what will happen? So if they are delaying that, so we'll feel bad. Or if you give for repairing for your mobile, so if they say 1 hour or 2 hours means we'll wait there and we'll get it. Suppose if they say 2 days, 3 days, so that means what we'll say, we'll be unhappy and the thinking will be the different. There is what the response time also. Based on the response time, this will be solving the problems. So longer response time causes uneasiness in the users because of the penalty of the errors increases. So what will happen? So this one is nothing but with respect to the customer's case only. So there what will happen? If the problems are not solving, automatically errors will be accumulated. So errors will be accumulated. For example, if you take a two-wheeler or four-wheeler also, will get some errors, will get some problems. So if you are able to solve it then and there itself, okay. Otherwise, what will happen? So if you are trying to use the similar with small minor mistakes or minor problems, so it will be accumulated. So that finally we have to spend more money at a time. So errors will be increased, their repair will be increased. That's it. Shorter responses time may cause the user to fail to comprehend the presented materials. That is what the second one. So always the shortest response time may be cause the users to fail. So next one is called the progress indicator shortens perceived elapsed time and the heightened satisfaction. So this is what the satisfactions is. Progress indications is nothing but the graphical indicators, blinking messages, and numerical seconds and left for the completions. So here is nothing but, so some of the installation process is going on. So how the error, this one problem will be solving. Suppose if you are installing something, so what it will be happening. Suppose in your mobile PDF file is not working means we have to install that particular software. So we'll go to Play Store and we'll install. The similarly here also some of the online transactions is going on. That is what the small example for the installation process. So next one is called the models of the response time impacts. I hope for this one only quiz question also one is there in this. So rapid task performance, low errors, and high satisfaction can be from. Other injections in choosing the optimum interaction speed. So these are the two things from the conditions for the optimum problem solving. So optimal problem solving, these are the two problems. So rapid task performance and low error rates and high satisfaction. So this is the things to be followed any organization, then only automatically improvement will be happening. So always the user satisfaction only, high satisfaction, user satisfaction, they have to get it. Any product, they should get the low errors and the rapid test performance. So performance is nothing but more. So you should do it accurately and no time delay. That is what the rapid task performance. So performance is nothing but how it will be performing. For example, my system is there, how it is performing that. So errors should get it low. So that means repair should not come at least sometime. So I should have some high satisfaction. So that is what the any organization has to follow, or any company has to follow these minimum things. So here you have the users have the adequate knowledge of the objects and the actions necessary for the problem solving task. So this is what the any problem task, when you want to do it, that you should have the minimum knowledge. The minimum knowledge you should have to communicate the or to solve the particular problems. So customer also should have the minimum knowledge to complete that particular tasks. Suppose if they say go to settings and do change the settings, something like this, if they say it, and you should be able to do it that one. So we, even as a user, as a customer, even we should have some of the basic knowledge, then only we can be able to solve it through online. Otherwise it is not possible to solve it that one. So at least we should have some knowledge. So other side, anyway, they have taken care what type of precautions to be given, what instructions to be given, all these things they know that. So that is what the first one. And second one is called the solution plan can be carries out without delays. So without delays, solutions to be get you should get it. So distractions are eliminated. Any distractions or any disturbances should be eliminated. Then only we can go ahead, we can do it fast. Users anxiety is low. Next one is there is a feedback about progress towards the solution. So anything you should have the feedback. So after completion of any work, we should take the feedback. Nowadays, now we are seeing any transactions we do it or any purchasement, whatever you are doing. So they will ask the feedbacks. So bank apps or some apps you are utilizing. So finally they will ask you the feedback. So that is what the feedback. So there is a feedback about the progress towards the solutions. Towards the solutions also progress is required. The what is that called? Feedback is required. So now even every teachers you are giving the feedback. So that means what is the use of the feedback is nothing but what? If something goes wrong in the process, the end users are giving the break. So this is what my feedback. So that you should rectify to satisfy me. That is what the feedback concepts. That is what everywhere feedback is mandatory nowadays. Anywhere, even teachers, you are saying you are giving now. I hope the second feedback. So that means what? So in the process, anywhere going wrong means so we are here to rectify it. That is what the feedback systems. So errors can be avoided and handled easily. So this is what the rapid task performance and lower rate of errors and high satisfaction can come from this. Next one is called the other conjunctions of in choosing the optimum interaction speed. So here is what will happen is you have some of the points here. Optimum interaction speed. So speed also how much speed is required to solve that problems. So any problem, some of the time is required to complete that. So another one is here is the some of the key points is nothing but exhibit the better performance with the slower response time. So slower the response time, exhibit the better performance. So always they have to do the better performance with the slower response time. Next one is called the prefer to work at slower speeds. A little penalty for an error, users prefer to work more quickly. So here is what if they are doing, they have to give some of the penalties. Suppose if you are want to take something, if they are not at all giving, so in that case they have to give other end also feedback. Suppose if you apply for birth certificate or any other certificates in that, or I want to take EC. So some of the minimum duration is there, maximum duration also is there. According to that, they have to follow. Even your extracts, kata extracts, all these things, if you take, what will happen? They have some of the rules, regulations. Otherwise, what will happen? Even they will not do it. So when people will be getting the salaries, and finally, what will happen? They will not do the work. So for every work, they should have the deadlines. Without deadlines, nobody will work properly. So that is what here the second point is nothing but what? Prefer to work at slower speeds. With a little penalty of an error, users prefer to work more quickly. So if they put fine, automatically they will work properly. When the task is familiar and easily comprehend, users prefer more rapid actions. So here is what if the familiar people are there, that is what the experience matters here. So teachers also you take experienced teachers, or if they have knowledge, they will teach better the subject. So the similarly here also, any work, even if you go to the repair shop. So if a bike get repair means what we'll see it, first we'll find out who will be doing the better service. So we'll find that person, will go there and will give the bike. So the similarly here also, once if they familiar for that, automatically they can perform well and they can execute the jobs very fastly. If the users have experienced rapid performance previously, they will expect in failure the future situations. So when they are doing problem solving easily, so they will be finding the future expected situations also. So what will be happening next? So that is what the models for the response time impacts. So next one is called in this expectations and attitudes. So what is the expectations and attitudes? So here you can see one of the diagram for the expectations and attitudes. So expectations and attitudes, they have given the diagram is nothing but the versions download time they have given here. So this is called the x-axis, nothing but the timings, and y-axis is nothing but the number of the pages. So this is nothing but the number of the pages. So attitudes for the people. So how it will be expectations of the attitudes. So here is number of the download times and number of the pages here. So how many pages or number of the download pages here. So here is the related design issues may clarify the questions of acceptable response time. Example, how long before hearing the dial tone? How long before you are hearing the long dial tone? So that is what the first one example for the issues of the clarity of the questions, acceptable response time. So responsible time is nothing but the this one. So that means what? So when you are asking the question, some expectations will be there. Suppose sometimes if you call the customer care, what will happen? So our customers executives are very busy. Please, we'll respect the customer. Please wait some more time. Something like that. We'll be getting the messages. So that also sometimes we'll get 1 or 2 minutes. Then automatically it will get cut. So they cannot say. So duration, timings also they have to mention it. So that is what the first one. So next is the limit is nothing but the 2 seconds limit. That is nothing but the one Miller 1968 he has proposed approximately for many tasks. So many tasks time duration is nothing but the 2 seconds. So when we are asking the questions, they should be able to tell the answers within the 2 seconds. So but the users have the adapted a working style and expectations based on the responses. So here is what will happen. Expectations based on the responses. So whatever you are getting the response, because this is more important. Response is required to work for that. So for example, if you take the student and children's relationship only. So if teacher wants to work more means students also should work it. So students also should cooperate it. Then only the things will go better way. Teachers also can solve more problems. Teachers also will be active. So that is what the when it can be active is nothing but any programming subjects or mathematical subjects and all. So if theorem is what will happen, 15-20 minutes they listen correctly, then automatically they will sleep, something like this. So that is what the happening. So always both the ways, responses, request and responses is most important. So people can detect 8% changes in a 2 to 4 second response of the time. So even if you give 0 to 2 seconds, they will be concentrating perfectly. If it is time delays, automatically see can detect the 8% changes. So that means what? Then if you are increasing the timings, giving the response time, automatically 8% will not be listening only. So they will be concentrating with some other things. Next one is called the response time. What is called the response time for this? A system is slowed down when the load is light and potential performance high. So when the potential performance high means automatically load is high. Makes the responses time more uniform. Responses time, whatever you are giving that one. So if it is uniform over time across the users, avoiding the expectations that cannot always be met. So avoiding the expectations that cannot be always be met. Maybe some of the problems they'll give this is what the expectations time, minimum time they have to solve for that. So this is what the common time. Examination, if you take 3 hours, internal test 1.5 hours. Normally, they have planned such a way that they will give the questions also the similar way. So you can be able to write it within the 1.5 hour. So that is what the response time and choke. So here is nothing but how it will be happening, source and destination timings also. So the first one is nothing but the maximum time they have given 2 to 3 0 to 2 seconds only. So if it is increasing, automatically response times will be decreased. So here is nothing but the response time also, how to give it. So how it will be matching with the works. So based on the problems, they will be deciding the timings. So response time across web the sites varies. So here is response time cannot be the same for all the problems. So one or two, some of the small problems they can say. Some of the big problems it will take more time. For example, when you are installing some of the softwares, maybe it will take 2 to 3 minutes. Sometimes it will take 1 hour also. Some of the softwares when you want to install it, it will take some more time also. So that is what the response times across the websites it will be varies. So every site cannot say the same times. So maybe based on their database, based on their internet services, all other constraints. Because of that, cannot be same for all the timings. So it affects user interest and quality assessment. So here is nothing but it affects the user's interest and the quality assessment. So then only it will be happening the user's interest and quality assessment. So one website, one timings will be taking. It cannot expect always 0 to 2 seconds or 2 to 4 seconds, something like that. So some of the works will be taken more. So when you are putting the some questions, so they will be searching in the database what are the possible solutions. So there some of the database, sometimes it will work very fast, sometimes database it will take slow. That means what Unix already hosted it. Some of the cases foreground jobs and foreground background jobs will be working. So systems, that's why sometimes when you're clicking that it will not respond to only systems. Why means so some of the background jobs are working. So automatic updations, all these things will be happening background. So that is the reason sometimes when it is working that background jobs, when you are clicking the front end jobs, it will be delay sometimes because of the not. So three things influences response time is nothing but the previous experiences, the individual tolerance for the delays, task complexities. This is the influence response time for the three things. One is called the what is the previous experience, the individual's tolerance for the delay, task complexities. Right. The next one is called the user productivity. So when it will be happening, the user's productivity. With respect to UID. Right. We'll see that here is we have the three things in user productivities. One is the repetitive tasks, problem solving tasks, and summary. So that is what is the user productivities. So we'll see one by one what is the repetitive task, what is the problem solving task, and what is the summary for this. So first one we'll discuss the repetitive task. So what is called the repetitive task is nothing but, so here we have the nature of the task has a strong influence on whether the changes in the response time alter users productivity. That is what the first point. These are all, you have the 4 points repetitive task. So that is nothing but the automatically will be doing the repetitive task. So same job only will be repeating. So next is you have the shorter response time. Shorter response time means users respond more quickly, but decisions may not be optimal. So here is in this case, what will happen? Shorter response time is nothing but more, they will respond it, but decisions will not be optimal. So more quickly response also some of the cases will not be respond. It will not be effective. That means it cannot be solved immediately. So it will take time. That is what the decisions may not be optimal. Next is Goodman and Spence. In 1981, this fellow has introduced this one. So reduce the response time load to more. So once you reduce the timings, reduce the responses. So responses, if you reduce it, what will happen? Automatically, time lead will be to more. So time taken will be more. So if you reduce the response times is nothing but, so responses is nothing but whatever the jobs they have asked the end users, if you are not responding that, so automatically more burden, more questions will be accumulated. That is what the, in this case, this one. Next is Till and Radnicki 1982, slower responses time. That one is nothing but the reducing the response time. Here is slow response times lead to more accuracy. So some of the cases will do it slowly but more accurate. So some cases we have to do it very fast. So all these things based on the situations only, based on the problems, based on the complexities, all these things. So if it is bike refer means, if you say immediate means, sometimes it is possible, sometimes may not be possible. So that is what the, when they're able to solve the problems, some of the problems can be solved immediately. Some of the problems cannot be solved immediately. Okay, so some of the problems can be solved immediately, some of the problems cannot be solved immediately. So these things they have done it 1981 and 1982. So all the problems, so we have rules and regulations. So every rules regulations we have to, sometimes we have to bend also. So we cannot make common rules for everything, common rules for the everything. So that is what the main intention in this case, a repetitive task. So when it is happening repetitive task, what to be done? So problem solving task is nothing but this is most important. We know, everybody knows this. Problem solving task is most important. So whatever you are doing as a programmer also, same thing. They should be able to solve the problems immediately. So solving capacity we should have it. So that means what? Being a programmer, you also should be ready for this. Now you are learning some of the languages, some of the packages. Once you go to the industry, one project in one platform, another project will be another platform. So they will say the new tools to be studied. That means what? Once you are perfect with basics, automatically you can change the advanced things automatically. So that's what I used to give the example. Once you know how to drive the two-wheeler bicycle, then remaining two-wheelers or cars, we can learn it easily. So bicycle only bit difficult. That's what here also, basics if you learn it properly, advanced one you will not be having any problems. So that is what the skill set. Once you learn the skill set, you can be able to solve the problems easily. Users will adapt their works styles to response time. Users will change their works habits as the response time changes. So here is one, second one is nothing but the users will change their work habits as the response time changes. Next one is Grasberg, Evians and Antima. 1976, this person told the time to solutions was invariant with respect to the response time. With respect to the response time, so it will vary the solutions also. Solutions will be varying based on the response time. So in this case, finally the user productivity, we have the users pick up the piece of the system to work more quickly with the shorter response time. So here is nothing but what? You should work more quickly time the with the less response time. That is what the most important in this case. The second one is called the higher throughput of the works. demands more attention must be paid to minimizing the cost of the delay of errors recovery. So these were the users productivity. These were the users productivity. So you have the two things here. When the repetitive works, if it is happen, what will happen? Problem solving is nothing but, so we should have the problem solving skill. Then only we can be able to survive. That's all we can say. Any organization, we should know how to solve the problems. So everybody will be getting the problems, either house problems or work problems or industry problems, whatever it will be. Everywhere problems will be there. That how you will be solving and going. One problem comes, how to solve that one. So that is what we have to learn it and we have to go ahead. Next one is called the, I hope last one, variabilities. What is the variabilities in response time? So variabilities and response time, and one more is the frustrating experience that we will see it later. So variabilities is nothing but the people are willing to pay substantial amounts of the moment to reduce the variety of variabilities in their life. Example, insurance. So here is variabilities is nothing but here best example they have taken the insurance. So people willing to say substantial amount of the money to reduce the variabilities in their life. Variabilities in their life is nothing but, you know, that LICs, life insurances and all, what is the advantages and disadvantages. I have not required to say that one. So once it is starting the earning all these things, then they have to go for the savings or life risk, whatever it may be. So like this, we have to take the precautions. That is what the variabilities. So in a home, if the person is earning, that person goes something wrong, if something happened, for that family will be struggling. That is the reasons when you are earning something, they'll go for the insurance. That is what the people are willing to pay substantial amount of the money to reduce the variabilities in their life. That example, insurance. Goodman and Spence 1981, this person stole something. Subjects took more advantages of fax response time by the making their subsequent commands immediately and balancing the time lost in the waiting slower responses. So here is, we have the examples. In this case, the graph they have given is, so the graph is nothing but response time and the persistent transactions with the errors. So here is response time, we have taken 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So y-axis we have taken the persistent transaction with the errors in the 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. See, here is how it is happening. When it is increasing the balance time automatically, this one is nothing but the arrivals times is nothing but automatically this got decreased, then it will be increased. That is what the, here is the point is nothing but the this one. Next is this one, the Goodman and Spence the 1981. So here is the third one is called the modest variations in the responses times minus 50% of the mean. So plus or minus 50% of the means, modest variations. So modest variations is nothing but what? So go for the plus or minus 50% of the mean prior to the tolerance. So this much you can do the tolerance. So if you are earning 50,000, 61 lakh, 2 lakhs, then we can go for that one. So if you are, the persons are spending very less, they cannot go for the that one. So all cannot go for that. So maybe a few people, those are getting more monies and all, they can go for the savings or other activities, something like that. Otherwise, those are earning only few, so they have to spend it for the minimum expenditures only. That is what the, this was the last one, frustrating the experiences. So frustrating the experiences. So these also some of the examples, some of the 6, 7 points are there. These were the, let us see the, what is the frustrating. So here is in 2004, 46% to 53% of the users' time was seen as being wasted. So here is 2004, this person has analyzed. So 46 to 53% of the users' time is wasting. So for that, recommendations include improving the quality of the services, changes by the users. So that is what the after 2004, 50% of 46% to 53% of the timings is wasting the users. So that is the reasons, the recommendations they have given, improving what is the quality of services with respect to the users. So poor quality of the services is more difficult in emerging the marketings. So here is what poor quality is always, everybody knows this. So without quality, they cannot sustain the market. So nobody will take that items. That's what we can say that. Any if you are having if you are giving any items with the low qualities and all. That is what the third one, poor quality of the services is more difficult in emerging the markets and developing the nations. So developing the nations also be difficult. So nowadays we are seeing in the market, you go there, they'll say, sir, this is the good quality, this is what cost. Another quality, this is the cost. So always the quality one only will be going ahead. So users training can help. Email a common applications, but also common source of the frustrations. So email common applications, but also common source of the frustrations. So viruses also a problem. So viruses also is a big problem here. So without if everything goes fine, then there is a not required the repair people. So virus with respect to systems only will be getting affected because of this one only. So some virus will come or it will corrupt our system. Sometimes it will corrupt our files. It will delete our files. Something and all will be happening. So that and all how to come out. So in that case, if it is happening, also frustrating experience. So what will happen? Suppose when we have the examination, you are opening the systems. In that case, if system is not opening, what will happen for us? We'll get angry and we'll be thinking bit differently. So sometimes we'll feel to hit the systems, or sometimes we'll feel to hit our items. So if it is not happening the properly. So that is what the frustrating experiences. So we'll across all these things. So even in our sometimes our routine life also we'll be seeing where sometimes some cases we'll get frustrated. So we'll not be having the control our body. So sometimes we'll whatever we want we'll talk. So out of control we can say. That is what the frustrating the experience. And here we have the initial stages can reduce the user's frustrations. There are about three categories they have done it. And first one is called the reduce the short-term and working memory load. So reduce the short-term and working memory load. So here is nothing but what? So if it is able to solve some few problems with directly giving the advertisements, so in that case, no need to store this. That's what they reduce the short-term and working the memory load. So try to reduce it and also working the memory load. So provides the information abundant to the interfaces. So here is you should give the provide the informations to give the interfaces. Interfaces is nothing but the connecting one to one, linking between one to one. Third one is called the increase automatically. So what it can be incremented automatically. Automatically in this context is the processing of the informations in response to in a way that automatic and involuntary acquiring without the conscious control. So in this is nothing but how you will be increasing is nothing but with respect to the automatically in this the context is the processing of the informations. So when you are passing the informations, how it will be happening. That is what the increasing the automatically. An example is when the user performance a complex sequence of actions with only a light cognitive load like a driver following familiarity route to work with a little apparent effect. So this was the second example. So when it is increasing automatically, these are the 3 points to be remembered. Frustration when it is happening, but the experience is nothing but what? Reduce the short-term and working memory load. So these were the first time it is happening. Reduce the short-term and working with the memory load. So that is nothing but everything not required to load it. For example, best example I can say stack examples. You have done many sorting techniques and all. We are not storing only. So if you are storing all the information, what will happen? It will give more memories. So dynamic programming, what you have done in ADA, so there we are storing all the previous values. That is what the solving the overlapping problems will say the definitions. So stack is nothing but what? Temporary memory allocations will get the solutions, then it will release it the memories. So we can use for some other purposes. But dynamic programming, what will happen? It will be storing all the values, it will take more memories. So automatically system performance will be reduced. Provide the information about the interfaces, that is also most important. So wherever you are given the interfaces, connecting from one to one, all these things, this information is required when other people are developing that one. So interface is also most important. This is what the fourth unit come to an end, and you have the second unit and the fourth unit got over and have given, I hope, which question? One of the quiz question have given. So write the key point, rapid task performance, low error rate, and the high satisfactions. This is what the questions you need to write it, and you can write it the rapid 4 to 5 points, and whatever you feel it with respect to the modes of the response time impacts. I'll take the attendance. By that time you can write it and send it to me. 2, register number 2, 3, 4, 5,
Present, sir.
6,
Present, sir.
7,
Yes, sir.
8,
Yes, sir.
9, Divyash, next 10,
Yes, sir.
11, 12,
Present, sir.
13,
Present, sir.
14,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16. Hey, Surya Prakash, where are you? Nowadays you are not visible only. For
I'm
me.
little bit invisible, sir.
Huh?
I'm being quiet, sir. That's all.
Okay, right. 16,
Present, sir.
17,
Present, sir.
18, 18, 19, 2 minutes. 19, Pradeep, 20,
Present, sir.
21, 22,
Present, sir.
23, 24,
Present, sir.
25,
Present, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Yes, sir.
29, Chinchana, 30, Spurti, 31,
Present, sir.
32, 33, Varsha, 34,
Present, sir.
50,
Present, sir.
51,
Present, sir.
52,
Present, sir.
53,
Yes, sir.
54,
Present, sir.
55, Kavya, 56,
Present, sir.
57,
Present, sir.
58,
Present, sir.
59,
Present, sir.
60,
Present, sir.
61,
Present, sir.
62,
Present, sir.
63, 64,
Present, sir.
65, 66, Sadhana 67, 68, 69, 70,
Present, sir.
71, 72, 73,
Present, sir.
74, 76,
Present, sir.
77.
Present, sir.
Right. So assignment.